Martin has officially retired as of today, effective immediately. And I want to talk a little bit about the career of the man most influential to my club, the Richmond Tigers, the greatest Richmond player of all time, the greatest big-time AFL player of all time, the greatest big game player, the greatest finals player, the greatest grand finalist. He's a man of mystery, and for someone so much in the public eye, he's also so little in the public eye at the same time. He's an enigma, he's an interesting character, he seems to be loved by the football world, but most importantly, for me as a Richmond fan throughout my childhood, there's no one more influential as a player arguably, maybe Richo for me, but Dustin Martin truly is one of the greatest AFL players of all time, and he will go down with some of the greatest seasons of all time. But I want to take a look at his AFL career a little bit, and it all started way back when Dimmer drafted him. Drafted at pick number 3 in the 2009 AFL draft, he made his debut the year after in 2010 in round 1 against the Carlton Football Club, and throughout the following years, it didn't go as smoothly as some people may remember.
Spills free, here's Martin. Haven't seen a lot of him so far.
Let's talk about his early career. In one incident in 2010, in pre-season, he was removed from training and given a verbal reprimand by club leadership when he was deemed unfit to train after a big night out. Now, there's a lot of sort of notes from previous Richmond players that he kind of came into the Richmond Tigers pretty underdeveloped in many sense, more as sort of his behavioural than on-field and physical ability. Now in this debut game against Carlton, he recorded the 6th most disposal of any Tiger, alongside, well, he had 18. 4 marks as well, 3 tackles, 3 clearances. And you can sort of tell early on, at least I remember watching Dusty early on thinking, he'll be a pretty good player for us, but I never ever thought he would live up to what he was going to do in the future. However, 2 weeks later, Dustin Martin was convicted by the AFL Tribunal for a pretty high hit on Josh Kennedy for the Sydney Football Club. Now, we started 2010 pretty well, and because of that, we all know the saga of the GWS Giants. And this saga lasted pretty long, to the point where, as a Richmond fan, we thought this man was leaving our club. And to be honest, at the time, it wasn't that big of a deal. He was good, but we thought he was just causing too many off-field issues to keep him. Now, Dustin Martin finished his first year ranked pretty high in a lot of Richmond's statistics as a team. He missed 1 game that season, but he finished the year ranked 2nd in Richmond for clearances and inside 50s, which are 2 very important statistics, as well as 3rd for both contested possessions and disposals. So we could already tell it was going to be pretty bloody good.
Vickery at the back. McVeigh. Martin, brilliantly done. Oh, that's a signature from the young fella, isn't it?
Now in 2011 round 4, Dustin Martin announced himself with a 4-goal and 33 possession game against North Melbourne.
Just needs to train and play the games.
He's sub-missile, locks it on and launches from a long way out, and he's done it twice in the quarter.
In that same month, he went on to have another game against the Brisbane Lions, kicking a goal alongside 35 touches. So early on in 2011, he was already evolving to be one of the best inside mids in the comp. Later in 2011 against the Brisbane Lions, once again, he did kick 5 goals in a seemingly best game for him. He started 2012 pretty well, but unfortunately once again it was sort of overshadowed by some off-field incidents. Dustin Martin and Daniel Connors missed a mandatory training session at the club on July the 3rd, 2012, and according to a statement released by Richmond, the 2 of them had overslept after taking sleeping tablets the night before. However, this prescription was only prescribed to Connors, not Martin. Dusty also admitted drinking that night, so he got a big fine and a suspension of 2 matches. Now from 2013 to 2015, Dustin Martin did play great football.
Ricky King wrapped up in the cross tackle, still was able to get the handball out. Good opportunity here for the Tigers. They go for home, and Martin.
Pressure, kicks it shy of the wing. It's a wicket by Martin.
Long ball. Martin's gone forward to the pocket, trying to use his strength against McDonald. Second effort, Martin's kick, dribbles it through. What a move that is by the coach.
For Martin, so the setup's complete. It took a lot longer than desired. Powerful kick from Martin, it's a cracker. It might come down to Dusty. Dusty! He's got it inside 50. He has a look behind. He steadies. He makes sure of it. Did you see that?
Watch it long. Martin's got the one-on-one. He marks the ball.
but he didn't win a final, and neither did his team, Richmond. Now, statistically in 2013, he was amazing, averaging nearly 25 disposals a match, and the second most score involvements of any player in the league that season. Now, late in 2013, he did float with the idea of moving to multiple clubs, Melbourne, Essendon, the Giants, but he stayed with Richmond. In 2014, he made the All-Australian 40 squad, not the actual main squad, and he was noted by championship data as the best one-on-one player in the comp. And in 2015, he started to explode. In 2015, he placed 7th in the Brownlow medal, getting 21 votes. He made the All-Australian squad of 40 again, but unfortunately not the final All-Australian team. Now in 2016, the off-field issues sparked again. Police investigations, chopstick problems, I mean, he had it all. In 2016, he won the Waiukan Award, which was awarded as the best Dreamtime player against the Essendon Football Club.
Gordon taken under the footy, has a chance now, but Martin normally does something in this situation. What a beauty!
Didn't expect that to happen. Now Martin to shrug the tackle from 50, launches a long ball. It's got the journey.
And even racked up 43 touches in a game against Essendon round 17. In 2016, because of his great form, he did win his first All-Australian selection. He did win the Jack Dyer medal, being the best and fairest spinner of Richmond.
Hey, they go again. Lennon this time inside 50. Martin a chance to win the game. Runs into the open goal. Richmond lead by 10 points.
Match right now, the Tigers led by 20 points in the first term. It's 21 at the moment, and Martin might just extend that. Runs to 55. The ball goes bang.
The Ledio marriage. Martin on the bite. Check sides it. How does it bounce? It bounces through.
But who knew the season after he would explode into something different, something out of this world. And in 2017, Dustin Martin became the greatest player in the AFL at the time. And to date, since VFL started, there has never been a greater individual AFL season than Dustin Martin in 2017, which saw him win not only the Brownlow, the Norm Smith, a grand final alongside the Waiukan Award, a Best and Fairest, Gary Ayres Award, the Best Finals Player Award. He won everything under the sun. He won the Lee Matthews Trophy in 2017, AFL-CA Champion Player of the Year Award in 2017, obviously made All-Australian again as he did in 18 and 20. This was the season of greats. This was the season of inevitability.
That's a 50-50 maybe, Stuart v Martin. Dusty, oh Dusty, that is classic Dusty. Fended off, runs away, bursts down the wing, kicks to half forward, Revolt did well, gives it a skid. Have a look at this, what a goal.
Couldn't quite do it. Muston, Dusty Martin with the stiff arm again. Did well. They slide in every direction. He's got this online. Griggs got a mark turn. Talk about class of Dusty.
Edwards, Butler, kick forward, 2-on-1. Dusty, Dusty, Dusty!
And then Revolt centering the ball. Martin front spot. Martin's got it. And Dusty hooking. Oh, that's it. Oh, yeah. That's the cream on the most beautiful cake imaginable.
And this was the season that made him illustrious and uncontrollable, and something that we will never see again, at least in my lifetime. He could not be tackled. He could not miss a kick.
Tui over. Important, no one falls over. Great contest. Well played, Dusty. Really well played and delivers.
High footy knocked away. Dunson's got to stand and wait, allowed Grimes to come through, destroy it. The inside out bender. Dusty, the stiff arm Martin.
Got under it just a touch. Now applies the blanket on the Easternwood handball. Boyd's there. Oh, brilliant Martin.
Long ball inside 50. Lynch comes at it again. Dusty front and centre. Goal Richmond.
He got tagged, it didn't matter. He would get 30 touches and a goal. He was unstoppable, and I've never seen a player want it more than Dustin Martin.
Puts the look away to Dustin Martin, who has a bounce. Rewald screaming for it, and he hits in lace out.
You're guilty. What about the cut run first and then the elite kick, Dwayne? That is unbelievable.
In 2018, unfortunately, Richmond didn't win the premiership, but he was still in amazing form, getting All-Australian.
Edwards, Lambert, Martin in an impossible position. Oh, no, it's not. It's Dusty.
In 2019, he should have made All-Australian again, but the selectors were off their fucking head. And I think in 2019, Dustin Martin changed. He realised that there wasn't much point in playing as good as he could every game, why not save it for the big games? And that's when we saw the emergence of the big game player.
There's kick it to Dusty. Dusty will take it 55 out, and Dusty might go for broke. He does. He follows the same path as Rioli. Same result. Tigers in front.
Best on-ground performances in pretty much every final from 2019 onwards. In 2019, he also won Best Finals Player of the Year, getting BOG in basically every single game, including the grand final. In the prelim against Geelong, he didn't get a vote, but for me, he was one of the best on the field, and we all know he was best on ground against the Brisbane Lions in that opening final. So he only turned up really now for finals or big games that mattered, or sort of those rivalry games.
Hemsworth taking the ground. Martin, can he go with 6? Bending, yes he can!
Fortunate to attack the footy, Martin able to pick it up and turns around the corner and Dusty just nails it.
And the winner of the Norm Smith medal is number 4 again, Dustin Martin.
In 2020, he had another outstanding season, dominating statistically and dominating by the eye. We look at the finals once again, where he stood up, where he won those contests. The first match against the Lions, we all know Richmond lost that final, and to be honest, he wasn't that good, Dustin Martin. But in the second round of finals, he was BOG against St Kilda. In the third week of finals, he was BOG against Port Adelaide, with one of the greatest preliminary final performances you will ever see. He was outstanding. And then we all know in the grand final against the Cats, that decisive second quarter goal, towards the end of that second quarter when the Cats were dominating us, he kicked that outstanding goal, off balance, pushed around, snap around the corner.
Look at them gang up on Lynch there. If there weren't 4, left Martin around the body, high ball, he's got it.
What a moment.
Gee, just at that moment that you high ball bolted there, Rewald tries to knock it forward. Rioli had a cracker as well, spills to Martin, little right foot slider along the ground, he's got another one. Martin's kicked another one. It's his second of the game, and he puts the Tigers in front. Kolodjasny, the swatting ball. Lambert found Martin, broke the tackle, got a skidder. Martin, can it be 3? It is. Dusty's kicked 3. Point stick it. Martin to put pressure. Still with Martin. Can he kick a 4th? Oh, he has.
He went on to win the Norm Smith that game, kicking 4 goals and having one of the greatest influences on one of the great AFL dynasties. Now this is all whilst not even mentioning the iconic Don't Argue, the stiff arm, the move that he didn't start, but he perfected.
Beautiful tap out.
Hands on the Tigers again. Talk about confidence. Martin took on 3. Lovely to take you on, Josh. And Ewan's
Going to need someone front and south. Martin, the snippy there. Now he runs with a right foot. No. Sends the Tigers into a frenzy.
probably a mark-saving and maybe a goal-saving move. What about Martin? Fends off. Taranto keeps going, Dusty. High ball, under it, Presti. Gardner good, handball wide, Martin. Brute strength, Dustin Martin at the Richmond end of the ground.
Demanding the footy, back to Martin. Can he break this one? The full-on front-on stiffer.
Martin, he's got 2 to beat. You'd almost back him with a fend off. He does it, don't argue with me.
He's palmed down only the advantage of Martin, who gets the big fend going. The fans love that.
Now, he's not the greatest player of all time. That accolade belongs to maybe Lee Matthews, Tony Lockett, Gary Ablett Jr., Gary Ablett Sr., even Buddy Franklin. But he's up there as top 10 GOATs, and he's the #1 GOAT for finals, for big games, and for big moments when it mattered. Now, as a Richmond fan, I'm very sad to be seeing Dustin Martin leaving. He brought my club relevancy, brought them back to success, back to the promised land. And now that we don't have him, it's going to be hard to watch. But from Richmond fans and from AFL fans as a whole, thank you, Dustin Martin, for 300 plus games, 300 plus goals, and just brilliance, making football fun. I mean, watching him week after week, he's an exciting human being, and I'm interested to see what he does post-career. But from Richmond fans, thank you, and hopefully you have 50 kids that will play for our club, because, mate, when you're not there, fuck knows who's going to carry the mantle.